Alright guys, so welcome again for our new episode on our Linux series. Alright, so today I am going to talk about how do we manage the users in the Linux operating system. So let's see how do we create users with Linux terminal. So there's so many options. So today I am going to use user add command. Let me zoom in my terminal. Okay, I think now better. Alright, so our handy guy man. So you know why we are using man. It's a manual for the every command in the Linux operating system. I mean Linux commands. So let's see man user add. Alright, so it's a system management commands. Alright, so user add, create a new user or update default new user information. So here we can add some options, and if I scroll down, you're able to see so many options we can add into the user creation. Right here some interesting comment, we can add the comments and we can specify the home directory. So there's so many options. So let's try to create one more user. Alright, so here I'm going to create one user. Let me clear my screen. Okay, let's add user add Hulk. So everyone know Hulk. Here there's a problem. User add permission denied. Cannot lock etc password. Try again later. This is because of I am in as a regular user. How do we identify it? Here I am in regular user because it's a $sign, right? So you can actually going into the administrator, I mean root privilege, right? So okay, I will explain. You can add commands as by directly going into the root. Sudo su super user do. I am a switch user. Here it's changed to hash. It's mean I am logged in as a root privilege. So it's mean I am using now terminal as a root privilege because of and if I type who am I, here I am root. It's been in the, if I compare in the Windows operating system, it's administrator. So I'm not going to do that, so I'm just exit my root terminal. So I'm now in as a regular user. So previous one we add user add Hulk, but it's permission denied because of regular user can't create users in the operating system. So how do we do that? We can add sudo, it's mean super user do user add Hulk. Alright, so I'm going to hit enter. So basically right now I am using the one of the Ubuntu virtual image. So let's say sometimes you will be asking the password for the using administrator, I mean root privilege. So you can add your root password while creating any user. Okay, so alright, I have add Hulk into my Linux operating system. So let's create one more user by adding some options. So I'm going to, let me clear my screen. Alright, sudo user add, we know the user, let's tell Steve. right? Steve. So right now I'm going to add characters in the Avengers. So alright, so my first option, so we have seen in the manual we can add some options. So I'm going to add the comment. So basically in the comments you can add anything, but right now it's better to use their full name, other things. I mean, don't put the passwords, right? I have seen, so not mostly in the Linux operating system, but from the Windows operating system in the AD environment. So in the users comments, they basically add the comment as their passwords. It's not good into the security environment. Alright, so I'm going to add the full name in the Steve Rogers. Alright. Okay, so we add the Steve Rogers the comment as him full username. Let's say Steve Rogers, the user, we need to give a specific expire date for this specific user, right? Let's say he is coming into an environment as a temporary user, or you need to create the temporary user to this date. This account should be deleted, right? I mean the expired. So we can do it like this. We can add E for expire. So we can add the following date: 2024 and 12 December 31. So you can specify whatever date. Alright, so and another thing, we can add -d. So basically whenever you creating without the -d, it create home directory with this username, like /home /Steve, like this, right? So let's say you need to change the home directory to different name. We can do it by this command. So -d, I can add /home. I would like to add Captain America. Okay, I'm going to hit enter. It's created. How do we check that? We can read the /etc/password file. So let me type tail etc passwd. Alright, here. So these are the username I previously created, Tony and Harry. And yeah, these are my newest one, the Hulk and Steve. So here the comments as their full username, I mean full name. So that's why never specify password into the comments, because any regular user can read this etc password file. So here I am a regular user, I just put tail, and I need to read the last 10 lines. If you add the comment as any password, you are lost. Alright. Let's say you wanna modify the user which is you created previously. If something happened, I mean you need to change the username, maybe you need to add the comment. There's a command called usermod, so we can check the manual here, man usermod. By using this command we can modify the user account. So there's some options we can use. Let's say we can add some comments, and even we can change the name. Here we can add the name will be changed from login to new login. So let's try to add comment and change the username for the specific user. So let me zoom in again. Okay, now good. So I want to say I have previously created Tony as a user account. Here is a Tony, so there's a no specific comment, so I'm going to add the comment as his complete full name. So sudo user mod, we can add C and Tony Stark and Tony. We can check. Here we add the comment, so we add the specified full name for the Tony user. So let's say I want to add not Tony, let's say S Tony, or maybe T Stark. Let's add the T Stark, maybe something the same name. The same name is same for the some of the users. Maybe you need to change. I'm going to change this Tony Stark as a T Stark. Let's change it. So I am going to use the same command, sudo user mod -l, and we can say I want to change T Stark to Tony. Okay, so let's check it. Alright, here we go. So I change T Stark to the same comment. I just change the username for the Tony. Alright, so previous time I have created some users, but the thing is those users passwords are empty. So by default, if I use the user add command and those things, if I create him by that command, there is no password for the specific users. So password are empty. So we need to add the password. So in the Linux operating system, we can say we can ask by ourselves, where does these passwords? I mean, we know the passwords are saved in the every operating system as a hash values, right? So in the Windows operating system, every user's specific hashes is stored in a SAM database, right? But in the Linux operating system, the passwords are stored in the shadow file. Right? You will be asked why this one not contain the password. Here it's a password, it's passwd. Here this one not contain any specific hashes. So where the password is stored in, I can say shadow. So whenever I just put the cat at / shadow, I cannot read, right? So I need root privilege. So I can write sudo at sudo cat at shadow, right here. So this is a hash file for the Ubuntu user. It's a complete hash. Right, so in our upcoming tutorial for the hacking one, so I can guide you how to crack those passwords in the Linux environment and the Windows environment. So these are the password hash. So in here the T-Stack, Kami, Hulk, Steve, Harry doesn't contain any password. So let's see how do we add the password for the specific user. So I'm going to add T-Stack, the user T-Stack. So I can use sudo pass wd can specify t-stack. I'm going to add the password for this user. So I can add okay, so I have added the password for the t-stack user. So we can verify. Let me check in here. Yeah. So now for the t-stack user, there is a password value. Right? It's the hash for this specific user. By adding salt and something, the other mechanism. Let's one more add for the Harry one, for the Harry Potter. Sudo pass wd Harry, and let's say I'm going to enter the same password for the t-stack. Right, same password for the t-stack and Harry. Let's see. So here I add the same password, but the hash values are different because it's adding the salt to. I will talk about what is the salt to the password protection. What does mean the salt, and by adding salt, what does happen on the password value? So many things, and how to crack these. There's a lot actually. So and then let's say you wanna okay, you are adding the specific user and the password. By default you are adding the temporary password, right? And then next time once the user log into the system, you need to tell, I mean you are not telling actually, but first logging for the each user you need to change the password by herself or himself, right? So you can or maybe you need to add the password policy. So each 60 days you need to change the password for the specific users. So we can use chh command. We can use chh command. So change user password expire information. So you can add the last day and expire date, specific expire date, and yeah, and minimum days, max days. You can add by the. Let me exit and let's see what is the status of what the stack, right? I mean t-stack. So sudo chh-l. I need to find out what is the current information the t-stack user have. So here it's we can see. So last punch state March 31. Okay, it's today. So password expires never. Account expires never. So you can change this everything by using chh command. So I'm not going to much more deep into this environment because yeah, you need to understand where is the usernames are located and where the passwords are located. Maybe you are doing the investigation, maybe you are doing the privilege escalation. So whenever you need to do the brute force attack, then you need to understand what are the users in here and what are the password values. Alright, so thank you guys. Let's see you on my next video. Alright.